Okay, so that's game two in the books, and it is officially 2-0 to the Thunder. Now, I'm not going to lie. I think this series is over. And here's why. Well, actually, let's first get into the nitty gritty of it, and then I'll talk about why I think this series is over. So, the beginning of this game looked very much like the beginning of last game in terms of how competitive and how close it was. At first, the Timberwolves were making their threes. First, the game started off with Ludor whacking Scott Foster in the face, which took like a minute or two or like 5 minutes of like break, which was just kind of funny, but I hope he's all right. It was just a nosebleed, so I don't think it's too big of a deal. But outside of that, it was a great, phenomenal game, especially in the first half. Jalen Williams got going very quickly. He had a lot of really tough mid-range shots, and I mean, so did Ant. So did Shai. Had a really good like turnaround contested one over. I want to say it was Dante DiVincenzo. Just a lot of great mid-range shots, which was really cool to see. And I also love that Minnesota was being more aggressive and getting to the rim and just driving to the rim more and just putting more pressure on the refs to make calls. And the calls were pretty even today, I would say. And just when they penetrated, they were kicking the ball, they were moving the ball. It just looked really, really fluid, and they got a lot of three-pointers out of that. And the difference in this game, at least at first, was that they were hitting their shots. They were hitting their three-pointers. That obviously did not hold up for the entirety of the game, and really neither team shot really well from three this game, but didn't hold up well. Going into the second, very close game, J-Dub was still hooping. Ant was making good reads, penetrating, kicking. He had a great game overall. He dropped 32 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists. He had a great game on pretty good efficiency. Not great from the three. And again, really no one outside of I guess Jaden McDaniels and Shai Alexander-Walker shot well from three, but Ant overall had a good game. Gets to the end of the second, Thunder built like an 8-point lead or something. Into the third, becomes like a 20-point lead, and after that, again, like I said, this Thunder team, they don't blow leads. So I already checked out, and then Timberwolves started making it a bit interesting, cut it to like a 10-ish point lead by the end of the fourth, but just a bit too late. I can't lie, for a second I was getting Pacers-Knicks flashbacks just for a second there, but OKC shut that down pretty quick. I think Jalen Williams had a pretty clutch steal, then an and one on the other end, and Chet was Chet. Shai hit like another tough lay, but they found a way to put it away. On the Minnesota Timberwolves, Anthony Edwards had a great game. Jaden McDaniels had a great game. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker had a pretty solid game. Outside of that, everyone was pretty booty. And it really, I don't even know what their problem was. They took 39 three-pointers and made 11 of them. You're just not going to shoot that poorly against this team. And I know part of the reason they're shooting poorly is because of OKC's defense and how great it is, but you're just not going to shoot that poorly and beat this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Because even when Oklahoma City is shooting poorly, their inside presence is so great, and the shots that they find at the rim are so great. They're so good at penetrating that you can't play that game, the three-point game, and not shoot well and expect to stay in this. Another thing, the turnovers. There was another pretty big turnover discrepancy this game. Minnesota had 14. OKC had 6. I'm interested to see how many points there were off of turnovers and how many fast break points. But I'm pretty sure that leans in OKC's favor. And again, that's their bread and butter. That's how they build these big leads. When their defense just locks in, it's crazy. You can't make turnovers. And that was a lot on the Oklahoma City Thunder. That wasn't just like Minnesota playing bad, although it was to a certain extent. But Minnesota was just forcing them off the line, forcing Ant to make reads that, I don't know, man, he still might not be very comfortable making. And honestly, they're forcing the team to make reads that they might not be comfortable making. And it didn't look good. Did not look good. and you saw that in that third quarter when they built that lead. Free throws were pretty even, so not a lot to say there. But Rudy Gobert, man, I said it in my pregame preview, whatever you want to call it. He can't play pivotal minutes, and because he offers nothing on offense. Literally a big load of nothing. He shot 2 of 5 from the field today. No turnovers, but 42.5 shooting percent true shooting percent from your center is just not going to get it done. And can't catch the ball, doesn't offer a lot in terms of like a lob threat, especially with Chet guarding him. And if you want Ant to like cut through the D and get to the rim and have easy shots at the rim, you're going to need to space it out. And Rudy Gobert just does everything but space out the floor. So I just don't think. And then Randall. They showed a graphic at the end of the game of all the shots that Randall missed. And it was pretty bad because a lot of them were like very close to the rim. And credit to OKC for their interior defense, but it just looked really bad. If Randall is not going to shoot well and you can't trust him to make threes, and he's going to be taking up more space inside the paint, I don't know how you can justify, because even if Randall's not playing well, I'd still want him on the court over Rudy Gobert, because especially on offense, because Rudy Gobert offers you a whole lot of nothing. But if both of them are on the floor, Randall's not hitting his threes, that just clogs the paint for Ant. No bueno. Please, no more Rudy Gobert minutes. And I think that the Timberwolves found a lot of success, at least at the end there, in sitting Rudy Gobert. He played a total of 30 minutes, and he was a -9. So that just goes to show you the minutes he was on the floor, they were not looking good. They did not win. They spaced it out and could get to the rim a bit more, and it just really aided his game a lot. But moral of this game, if Anthony Edwards, or if it was last game, Julius Randle is the only guy on your team getting above 30 points, you might be screwed. You might be in some trouble. Shai had 38, 3 and 8. MVP numbers. I think that was his playoff career high, it said. Jalen Williams, another great game. He was cooking. He was hitting some really, really tough mid-range shots. So it was cool to see that. Lou Dort, kind of good game, but he was doing his best on Ant as well. Basically everyone played well. Chet Holmgren. This is another part where I don't know about the Rudy conundrum, because he's horrible on offense, but obviously he's your main interior defense and like deter from the rim. And when he's not on the court, OKC will find a lot of good shots at the rim, especially because they have Chet, who is great on defense, and then he's slowly starting to turn into a very, very scary threat on the offensive end. He finished with 22 points, but in the end there, the announcer said he's taking his time more now, and he's just realizing that there's no one that can really stop him when he's right at the rim. He's, 7'3", 7'4"? Sorry, 7'3", I think. Yeah. And there was just no stopping him. Turnaround, little layup, turnaround dunk, like the footwork was great. I really love seeing that. So if you take Rudy Gobert off, then you're leaving him on the other end. And Naz Reid is just, I don't think he's holding Chet, to be honest. And here's why I think this series is over. I just don't know what answer the Minnesota Timberwolves have for the Oklahoma City Thunder and their defense. It's just really bad looks. Rudy Gobert can't play, and when Rudy Gobert can't play, Chet Holmgren's going to feast. Shai is too consistent, and I know Ant had a good game today, but 1 of 9 from 3 is not going to get it done. And honestly, going into Minnesota, I expect Oklahoma City to take a game. I think this team is too good, and they've shown 2 games in a row that they're like just a level above this team, that I would be very, very surprised, even without home court advantage, if they don't steal at least 1 or 2 on the road. And obviously, if they steal 2, it's over. And if they steal 1, the Minnesota Timberwolves' best hope is that they're down 3-1. It's that they steal Game 4. If they steal Game 3, they're down 0-3. That series is automatically over. And this series is very quickly looking like it'll be a sweep. And keep in mind, coming into the series, I said it would be a 5-game series. Not a lot of people said it would be 5 games. People said it would go 7 games. I didn't see the hype. I thought Oklahoma City was a step above this team, but I was not expecting the discrepancy to look this glaring, because this was yet another game where not Oklahoma City, where the Timberwolves just couldn't put together a complete complete game of just great offensive basketball. And if you don't do that, you're not beating this team. I think they've still got one win in them. I'm still sticking with OKC in 5, but I think this series is already over. Not much else to say. I guess we'll look forward to Game 3, and I'll draw my preview before that game, so look out for that. But that's all I've got to say. Like, up, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.